All right, I'm going to call this morning's docket. When I call your name, please say present or here. Raise your hand. Tammy Broomfield. Mario Martinez. Mario Martinez. Jeremy Reeves. Craig Turner, verified in custody in Kaufman County. I'll recall that case. Misty Rice.
Your Honor, she's ill. She's out in her car.
Okay. We'll recall her in just a moment. Do you know if she's going to have the ability to appear via Zoom?
I think she's going to.
Okay, and I think she may be in the online waiting room. So, Leonard Williams.
We've got to think he's going to be with us. I talked with him tomorrow, yesterday, and the day before. He tried to commit suicide about 5 days ago. He's being seen. MHM people were coming out and seeing him. She took him to the doctor yesterday afternoon, trying to get him something committed, and I have not heard back from her. So that's what I'm getting this time.
Thank you, sir. Zachary Bird.
I did not speak with Mr. Bird, but he indicated that he had suffered.
But you don't.
No additional details provided.
Thank you, Mr. Kimball. Tiffany Rankin. Esber Avilas. Waiver of arraignment, looks like waiver of arraignment filed and granted. Pretrial set September 14th. Randy Landfree, waiver of arraignment granted, pretrial set September 16th. Francisco Chaparro. Thank you, sir. Matthew Kearns. Megan Bailey. Jason Farney, waiver of arraignment filed, granted September 14th. Johnny Cooper. Johnny Jude Cooper Jr. Amanda French.
Here.
Jose Perez. Tony Curtis. Marcus Ellison is appearing via Zoom by permission. Mr. Weiner will be appearing via Zoom today as well. Jeffrey Furr. Is Mr. Furr still in custody? Do we know? Put him in custody at the last hearing due to violations of pretrial release. Wendy Paul.
Here.
Robert Crane, verified in custody in Wood County. Amanda Templeton. Amanda Templeton. Shelby Newton.
Here.
Rebecca Fields.
Here.
Eric Ketcherside. Clarissa McMillan. Andrea Pullings. Billy Schultz. Elaine Jeffrey. Mitchell Ragland, waiver of arraignment filed set September 28th. Christopher Mata. Christopher Mata. Bobby Richards. Aaron Blevins. Christina Ross, appearing via Zoom by permission. Mr. Murray Leader will be appearing via Zoom as well. Hannah Hampton, defendant to appear via Zoom. Mr. Wagner is appearing via Zoom. Devontae Bird. Devontae Jamal Bird. Is Mr. Knoll here this morning? That one's for 11? Oh, yeah, you're right. Has anyone seen Mr. Knoll though? He's got some 9 o'clock cases. Thank you.
Okay.
Who are you ready on?
Ms. Jeffrey.
Elaine Jeffrey, CR 16416. You'll come up to the center podium. Ms. Jeffrey set for a motion to adjudicate.
That's correct, Your Honor. We asked before, I talked to Mr. Woodwhack. I'm supposed to give him some information on Mr. Jeffrey. We're just gonna put it over on that document, because we feel like we're probably.
Can you hear me, Judge?
Sir, I can, but I need you to wait until I call your case, please.
Can you hear me, sir?
Mr. Wagner?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, Judge?
Yes, sir, I can. Everyone in the courtroom can hear you. I need you to wait until I call your case.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, court will set. Is August 26th too soon? It's 2 weeks. All right, we're gonna set it for contested hearing on September 30th at 9 a.m. Is that all you have this morning, Mr. White?
That's correct.
All right, Mr. Wells, are you ready? Aaron Blevins, CR 168. All right, this is, Mr. Blevins is set on a motion to revoke, and I believe you've also filed a motion to withdraw as counsel.
That's correct. Yes.
All right, do you want to make any announcement on your motion to withdraw? Does Mr. Blevins agree to that?
He has agreed.
Okay, all right, then the court has reviewed your affidavit for appointment of indigent counsel, finds that you do not meet the requirements for appointed counsel. So Mr. Wells is allowed to withdraw from your case. You're going to be left to go hire another attorney and report back to court. You understand? And are you gonna be able to hire another attorney? You want to talk to him? What do you mean you want to talk to him? He's been your attorney this whole time. What do you mean you want to talk to him? You want me to recall the case in a few minutes?
I don't mind this.
Okay.
I don't think we're gonna get anywhere.
I'll recall your case and work you back in. Mr. Stevens?
This is Rice. She is-
Yes. All right, let me bring her in. It appears Ms. Rice is driving around. Can't tell though. Well, her audio is not connecting. So maybe it's just because she's moving the phone so much. All right, I'm gonna call her again in just a moment. She's not got her audio working, so. I'll have to recall the case because she can't hear me and I can't hear her, so
What do you do about this one?
I'm gonna put her back in the waiting room. She's going to have to figure out how to. All right, CR 2372, State versus Leonard Williams. And so do you have any kind of documentation that Mr. Williams is in care at Terrell State Hospital or anywhere else?
I do not, Your Honor, my office is reaching out to his mom, Tricia Williams, to try to get some kind of documentation to find out the status today. I told Ms. Williams I would call her back next 3 at 5. Get the latest, I actually called her about 4:30. She didn't answer, and then I went out, didn't get back home until like 10 something.
All right, so what I'll do is I will take a nice eye under advisement until 3 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
And if you can get me some kind of paperwork that shows that he's in Andrew Center getting treatment, or he's been submitted to the custody of the Terrell State Hospital or somewhere else, I'll need that information. Do you have any announcement on docket call?
No, I wouldn't, Judge. The last time we were here, he was going to retain counsel.
It doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Call what's for, it's that issue. And I have not spoken with him about the information.
Okay. Has the state extended him an offer?
Yes, sir.
What is that offer?
25 years.
That might cause me to have mental health problems too. Okay. All right, I'll take that under advisement till 3 p.m. tomorrow, and I'll wait to hear back from your office. If you'll check on Misty Rice perhaps and see if she can figure out how to get her phone to work, and tell her to keep the phone up. I don't want to see her tank top and tattoos.
Okay.
Good morning, good morning. Here. Simmons, right?
You got it.
Tiffany Rankin. This is cause number CR 2354, State versus Tiffany Ann Rankin, set for docket call. Mr. Simmons standing in for Miss, is it Barber? Barbary.
Thank you, Honor. Getting moved this to the docket. We're working on a video, not quite there yet. We have a motion to suppress that's in the file. So we have to get that set before the trial session. Our public prosecutor, very well.
I think we've passed our deadline to file contested pretrial.
Judge, this has been on pause since June. Mr. White previously represented Ms. Rankin. As soon as Ms. Barber got on and they filed it, it may have already been passed pretrial at that point. It's Mr. White. Maybe how this happened. We've talked, we're significantly closer to working out a deal than we were last month. However, we're not quite there. So I think test topic will have a plea agreement on that day or be ready before contested motion.
Is the contested hearing going to require testimony from witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is August 26th too soon, 2 weeks?
Yes, it is.
State, how many witnesses do you anticipate you'll need?
Judge, I anticipate we're going to need at least one, which is a K9 or if not more. I probably need to get with them and see if that was the only issue brought up. Mainly it was the search from the K9. That was the question.
Okay, court's going to set this for the evidentiary docket on September 30th at 9 a.m. You're welcome. Once you sign your notice and get the yellow copy, you're free to go. You ready on Zachary Bird?
Your Honor, just need to know what action the court wants for both of these.
Zachary Bird here. Court's going to issue a judgment nisi and forfeit his bond. So is that the only one you have this morning?
Yes, it is.
Do you have anything this afternoon?
Yes, I do.
Okay, we'll see you this afternoon. Mr. Sanders, are you ready on, you just have one this morning, Megan Bailey, is that correct? Megan Bailey, CR 2378. All right, Ms. Bailey is set for plea today, is that correct?
Well, Judge, I think, instead of looking for a plea or not call, and Judge, we're gonna ask to go ahead and set for a jury trial, for jury selection. We had a plea offer and basically an agreement, with the offer for 3 years deferred. Where Ms. Bailey lives, the apartment complex, basically she did some checking into. Initially, there was an issue about a conviction, how that could affect her residence. And from what she was told, even potentially deferred probation could affect whether they would allow her to live there. Based on what she'd been told, and I had called the complex as well, and just kind of told it's not a case by case basis. I think that was kind of a big factor. So this time she couldn't be good faith to go ahead and plead guilty on knowing what other consequences potentially were there. So we just have to have it set.
So we're gonna go to, is it a third degree or is it gonna be, is it enhanced at all?
No, Your Honor, this is Bailey's first felony.
Ms. Bailey can't find somewhere else to live. She would rather go to a jury and face a 2 to 10 sentence, a conviction, become a convicted felon for the rest of her life, and face a jury for potential 2 to 10 TDC sentence over finding a new place to live. That's what she wants to do.
We talked about that, Judge, and I asked about other possibilities, other options, and that was my understanding. That there were no other options, at least at this point.
All right, Ms. Bailey, the court's not gonna allow you to plead after today. If you say you want a jury trial, I'm gonna give you a jury trial. If you say the Friday before you want to defer it, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say you're gonna get a jury trial. You understand? And then you're gonna go to trial, and if you get convicted, you get convicted, because that's the decision you're making today. And if you go to trial and the jury says you're going to prison for 5 years, then you're going to prison for 5 years, because that's the decision you made today. You understand? Okay, court's gonna set you on the jury selection docket for August 30th. Ms. Bailey, you'll report downstairs in the basement of the courthouse at 8:30, and I'll have a staff member down there that will assist you with the paperwork for your next setting. You won't be going to trial on August 30th. You'll come down and you'll report, and you'll continue to do that until your case is called for trial.
Okay, so, no, I'm one person on docket this afternoon. I'll probably run a little bit late. I got 1 o'clock here in this county, but I'll be over here.
Okay. Is it it's a docket call, is that right, Mr. Hansard?
Yes.
And do you expect just an announcement?
Well, yeah, I need to talk to him some more.
Okay.
I've got some issues that-
I was gonna say if you want to appear via Zoom, if it helps you out, but if you need to talk to him, then we'll wait for you and
Okay.
let you do that. Bobby Richards. Bobby Joe Richards, CR 2134. Mr. Richards is set for arraignment.
That's correct, Judge. We received a copy of the indictment. I'm going over most of the minutes. Wait for the reading here.
All right, court will enter Mr. Richards' plea of not guilty into the record, find that he waives the formal requirements of arraignment. We'll set Mr. Richards for pretrial. No, we can't, we're maxed out on that. We're already at 70, probably over 70 cases on that docket. So you can either do the 16th or we can do the 28th. 28th. All right, Mr. Richards, I'm going to order you back for pretrial on September 28th at 9 a.m. Is that all you have on the morning docket? Shockingly, he's not. Is that the one? I think I saw your motion with, was Debbie Beasley on that case?
Anyway, I noticed, it's set for pretrial, my announcement obviously would be that that's the request for. So, reason why I brought that out is some kind of your ex-boss is. So,
Okay.
But I'll be shortly there.
Okay. So. Francisco Chaparro. This is CR 21, 11, 12, and 13. Mr. Chaparro set for docket call, Mr. King.
Good morning, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Hillary and I spoke yesterday. I got an offer yesterday afternoon from the state on March, this PIN time we're at. I had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Chaparro, but I haven't had an opportunity to speak with his family about it. Also a request as a part of the plea for restitution. Spoke with Hillary this morning regarding possibly make a restitution up front, reduce the PIN time range a little bit, not tremendously far apart, but he is 17 years old and there's a PIN time record in this case. And what I'd like to ask the court, she had a chance to talk to the boss about the counter offer we made this morning to try to resolve this matter. We could have one more setting. I think we'll have it resolved one way or the other. For the court. I realize I'm asking a lot of the court, but we hadn't had a chance. I was out of town for about 10 days with a funeral in Colorado, my brother-in-law, and didn't answer the phone, didn't look at the email. There's too much other family stuff to try to take care of. If we could reset it, I'm suggesting the 26th, but I'm driving my daughter and my grandkids back to 29 Palms, California, for a couple of times back in employment, and that's where they're based. I'm doing that to 26th and 27th, flying back to 28th
Of August. What about the 24th?
24th of August. We can make that.
Okay.
I can make that.
All right, Mr. Chaparro, I'm going to order you back for docket call on September 24th at 9 a.m. I'm sorry, did I say September? I'm sorry, August. I wrote August. August 24th.
August 24th. Thank you, Judge.
Can you come here real quick? Ms. Heisel, can you approach? All right, Ms. Rice, I'm going to ask you to hit that button that says unmute.
Okay.
Keep your phone real still for me, please.
Okay.
So you can hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me go over here to your case quickly. All right, this is cause number CR 2133, State versus Misty Michelle Rice. We're set for a docket call. Go ahead, Mr. Stevens.
We have received an offer to give it further. My client is thinking about the offer, but she hasn't accepted it yet. Due to her illness this morning, she not be able to do anything. Would you allow another doctor to call it? And throw another trauma.
How long has she had the offer?
Well, the offer had been 3 or 4 deferred, and I just got the new offer there until that. And I just actually talked this morning on the phone from the courthouse. She said,
All right, let's reset to August 24th. Do you have any conflicts that day?
no, sir.
That should give us a little less than 2 weeks. We'll see how Ms. Rice is feeling, if she has COVID or is still suffering from those symptoms, and you'll let me know. We'll appear the same.
Okay.
So August 24th at 9 a.m., Ms. Rice.
Okay.
What'd you say?
I have a test scheduled for tomorrow afternoon as soon as I can get in here in Canton.
Okay. Well, just let Mr. Stevens know what the results of that are, and if we need to reset the hearing, we will, okay? Otherwise,
Okay.
we'll see you back on August 24th at 9 a.m.
All right, thank you.
And I want you to, you need to make a payment on your pretrial release. I show that you're delinquent close to $300.
Yeah, I don't have a job. I'm trying to get some money today and take to him. I'm going to pick up some trash and scrap from my boyfriend's house and take it up there, hopefully.
Okay, try to get that done.
All right, thank you.
All right, you're free to go.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it for me, Judge. I'll be able to see you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, Mr. Wells, we ready for round 2? All right, Mr. Blevins. All right, Mr. Blevins, this is CR 16-8. I've given you an opportunity to speak with Mr. Wells. What's your announcement? Are you retaining Mr. Wells as your attorney? I'm going to ask Mr. Wells if he agrees, or are you going to seek new counsel? And if I do that, how are you going to do that? Are you going to pay the next attorney, or are you not going to pay that person either? What does try your hardest mean? Do you have a job? Do you have money? Are you going to go get a loan on your car? Well, tell me exactly what you're going to do and who you're going to go try to hire.
I'm gonna try to get a loan and find a lawyer close by.
Like who?
I got to look up. I'm not real familiar with the lawyers around here. I've got to find one. I don't know who's around here.
And you've had Mr. Wells,
Yes, sir.
a good lawyer, local lawyer, right across the street, and you don't want to retain him. Is that right?
I had things come up that I had money to go out on. I'm gonna try to get a loan, try to remain another lawyer.
All right, Mr. Wells, I'm going to grant your motion to withdraw.
Would you like me to ask the judge for him?
Yes, if you will, please. We're going to set him for August 26th. I'm sorry, let's do August 24th. August 24th for motion to revoke and stat, and then you on the other, if you'll just write to hire attorney. All right, so Mr. Blevins, that's not even 2 weeks. I'm giving you a little bit of time. You need to make it happen. On the 24th, I expect you to show up with an attorney. Mr. Adams, are you ready? Rebecca Fields, CR 2118. All right, Ms. Fields is set for arraignment today, Mr. Adams.
That's correct, Your Honor. I think, no, so-
If you want to bring Ms. Fields over to the television over there so you can talk with her privately.
Your Honor, having reviewed Ms. Fields, I can represent the board and Ms. Fields understands so what she's charged with. She was saying that.
All right, court enters Mrs. Fields' plea of not guilty into the record. We'll set pretrial in this matter. Be available on September 16th. Okay. September 16th, 9 a.m. Ms. Fields. Once you sign your notice of setting, Mr. Adams is going to give you a yellow copy. After that, I want you to report to pretrial release over here so you can sign your conditions of pretrial release papers. All right, Mr. Ketcherside set for arraignment today.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Adams.
Sure, I can represent the court. Mr. Ketchison and I reviewed a copy of the state's indictment. Mr. Ketchison's name is set forth and spelled correctly. He is the same Eric Ketchison name, not the president of the court today. He understands what he's charged with by that indictment. At this time, we would like formal reading of the indictment. It is not open. Request the court set Ketchison's case for a pre-trial.
All right, court will enter Mr. Ketchersid. Is it Ketcherside or Sid? Sid Ketchersid's plea of not guilty into the record. We'll set this for pretrial on September 16th at 9 a.m. And then Mr. Adams, I've got an issue with Mr. Ketchersid in that he's been ordered to install an interlock device on his vehicle due to his charge of driving while intoxicated, third or more. And it's being reported to me by the pretrial release department that he does not have such device on a vehicle or proof thereof. So I'm going to want to talk to him about that before we conclude our hearing today. That's no longer. Yeah, we'll have to do the instant right here if he doesn't own the vehicle. I don't know financial responsibility. He's on bonds. And you want a copy? You want to see a copy of these? I believe he already has a copy. Look to see if he signed it. If he signed it, he already has a copy.
He is.
Yeah, we gave him a copy that day. So,
He's told me he doesn't have a car.
and well, it says right there on the back, if he doesn't have a car, he's got to have an in-home device right here on the top, second paragraph at the very top. And just announcement for the attorneys appearing on Zoom. I'm going to begin calling your cases in just one moment. Mr. Adams is the last in-person attorney. Yes.
He's advised me that something that last month, July, when we wrote that. There's an urban financial resources. But it costs you, for the pension, having.
Mr. Ketcher said, I'm gonna order you to have an in-home device. You need to have that. I'm gonna give you until today's Thursday. I'm gonna give you till Tuesday, 5 p.m. to have that in-home device. You can talk to Mr. Waddell, your pretrial release officer. I'm sure he's already told you that anyway. So you sign, you get your notice, you come back here and talk to Mr. Waddell. If you don't have it by Tuesday, by close of business, 5 p.m. on Tuesday of next week, I'm going to find your bond insufficient. All $30,000 worth. Okay? All right, once you sign your notice and step back here and talk to Mr. Waddell. Do you still have your copy of paperwork? You still have your copy? I'm going to give you another one. Don't lose it. All right, Mr. Ketchum, you can sit back here and meet with Officer Waddell. Clarissa McMillan. Ms. McMillan set for pretrial, CR 2184. Go ahead.
Yes, correct. The gentleman asked me, this is going, I'm having a pre-trial issue. However, if I have it, I will receive documents, that's discovery in this matter. I haven't had the opportunity to fully review it, so I would ask the board to recess for pre-trial, another pre-trial, and give the opportunity. The conference is certain material, which, you know, I decide what to do with that, and the fourth one, I'm sure you will. This McMillan was in Orange County, which is down on the left coast, right next to Lake Charles. Takes her. So. Well, September 16th, that was people, she would be ready to be included in 10 o'clock. She's going to take about 4.5 hours.
All right, this would be the third setting for pretrial. This would be the third one. She was arraigned in June, set for pretrial in July, and set for pretrial today. So this will need to be the last time we set for pretrial. September 16th at 10 a.m. Do you need her to pull it all? I don't see any notes, but. Ms. Pullings, Ms. McMillan, you can call Mr. Adams another time if you want to talk about your case, but I got more cases I got to call. Ms. Pullings, Andrea Pullings, CR 21140. If Mr. Adams needs to see you, then listen to what he says, but I just need you to move on out of the way, so I'll call the next case. Ms. Pullings is set for pretrial today.
For Your Honor, I do not have a pre-trial matters to take up this morning.
All right, there being no pretrial issues, court sets Ms. Pullings for docket call on September 16th. So Ms. Pullings, on September 16th, what I want to hear from you through your attorney is whether you're going to accept a plea agreement or you're going to be asking for a bench trial or a jury trial to resolve your case. You understand? So it's between this time and September 16th, I need you to make a decision on what you're going to do and make sure you communicate that to your attorney. Billy Joe Schultz, CR 21243. All right, Mr. Schultz set for arraignment.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, I reviewed the document with Mr. Schultz, and represents the court. Standard process set forth and spelled in that document. You understand the allegation. Paying that is the same Billy Joe Schultz Jr., president of the board, that's named in my, we waived formal reading of the indictment at this time, interim, pleaded not guilty and asked the court says for trial.
All right, court will enter Mr. Schultz's plea of not guilty into the record and will set set pretrial on September 16th at 9 a.m. Mr. Schultz, I'm not through with you yet. Not yet. Mr. Schultz, there are conditions of pretrial release. Have you signed your paperwork prior to being released from jail? Did you sign your conditions of pretrial release? Sir? Okay, have you reported to your pretrial release officer or made any payments? Let's come back here and let's talk about that. Now, listen, if you don't pay your conditions of pretrial release fees and bond supervision fees, then I'm going to revoke your bond and put you back in custody. Okay, so come back here and meet with pretrial release. And I'd like to have some kind of payment today through this door over here. Is that all you have, Mr. Adams? Anything this afternoon? Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna call the rest of these. I've got a bunch of attorneys waiting.
It's just an order of which
Yeah, I'll do it just a minute. Let me get through them and you want to stick around. Mr. Weiner, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning, sir. Do you get hazard pay from Mr. Head? For creating a hostile working environment?
No, I'm beginning to think the whole world's a hostile working environment.
Amen to that. Probably put that on a t-shirt, make a lot of money. All right, let's see here. Tony Ray Curtis. Mr. Curtis, I had a note that Mr. Curtis was going to be appearing today on pretrial. Is Tony Curtis here?
Judge, I don't expect him to be there in person. I sent him the Zoom link in an abundance of caution. He sent me yesterday around lunchtime a picture of a home COVID test that was positive and said that he was symptomatic and feeling ill. I obviously didn't have a chance yesterday afternoon with everything going on to file a motion for continuance on his behalf. But as an officer of the court, I do have those pictures. I'm happy to send them to the state. I did not tell him not to come, but I told him in an abundance of caution, if he's not going to show up, to at least try and get on Zoom. But I have not heard back from him this morning.
I don't see him in my online waiting room either. So I'm just gonna go ahead and issue a judgment in ISI, and then if you get in contact with him, then you can file a motion to withdraw that.
Okay.
You can set it for hearing or something, but I'm gonna go ahead and move forward with forfeiting his bond.
Okay. If I'm able to get him on Zoom later this morning, would you reconsider that, Judge?
I would, yes, if we can get
Okay.
him before I adjourn at 12.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll start working on that after we get through the rest of my cases. Thank you.
All right, so I'll say under advisement until noon.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, and Mr. Ellison is there. Let me bring Mr. Ellison in. All right, good morning, Mr. Ellison. Can you see and hear me okay? I'm going to ask you to unmute at this time. We'll just click that button. There you go.
I guess I can.
See, can you see and hear me okay this morning?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. This is cause number CR 2161, set for docket call. Go ahead, Mr. Weiner.
Your Honor, there's only one thing outstanding. The disc that I received of the forensic analysis of a cell phone in this case, it appeared blank, like it's like a copying error. And the DA's office has a copy of that disc. I was going to pick it up this morning, but obviously I'm not in Canton this morning. That's the only outstanding thing that we have in this case. But I'd like to set for one more docket call so I can look at that before we move towards an actual jury trial.
Objection from state. All right, court will reset Mr. Ellison then for an additional docket call on September 16th. And on the 16th, Mr. Ellison, you'll be ordered to appear in person.
All right.
Okay, so
Yes,
you're
sir.
free to go September 16th at 9 a.m. and you're free to go.
All right.
Is Jeffrey Furr here? Mr. Weiner, I called Mr. Furr's name at 9 a.m. He was not present in the courtroom. Do you have any additional information for me?
Unfortunately, I don't, Judge.
Okay. Court's going to issue a judgment in ISI and see if I can't come up with some magical number that will impress upon him the importance of returning to the court's jurisdiction. So let's see here. Ms. Paul, Wendy Paul. This is CR 2352, FC 20-12, State versus Wendy Marie Paul, set for docket call. Go ahead, Mr. Weiner.
Your Honor, I spoke with the state yesterday and I spoke with my client this morning. We're going to have a resolution in this case. My intentions today were to waive a jury and set it for a plea. Obviously, I'm not there, so I can't execute a waiver of jury. So if we could just set this for a plea on that September 16th date, I believe it will resolve the case that day.
Okay. Court will set Ms. Wendy Paul for plea on September 16th at 9 a.m. The deputy is going to bring you a notice of appearance here. I'm sorry, here. I'm sorry, I thought you were filling that. I'll fill it out. I thought you were filling that out, but you were doing the bailiff certificate, weren't you? That's more important. All right, Ms. Paul, if you'll sign here on the X, we're going to have a copy of that for you, having you come back on September 16th for plea. Other than Mr. Curtis, that's all you had on the docket this morning. Is that right?
That's right, Judge. What's the appropriate etiquette when Mr. Curtis is online? Do I need to stick around and message you or try and catch you in between announcements? What's the best way to handle that, Judge?
Probably the easiest would be to contact Ms. Taberham.
Okay.
Once I see him log in, then I see you log in and I'll bring you both in.
Great. Thank you so much, Judge. I appreciate it. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Yes, you're free to go. All right, Mr. Wagner, are you available?
No, how's that? Can you hear me now, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. And I'm gonna prompt you to start your video as well. You'll just push that button I sent you.
Yes, sir.
All right, there we go. There we go. All right, let me get back here to your case. Hannah Hampton, and let's see, is Miss Hampton appearing via Zoom? Mr. Wagner, I don't see her.
Yeah, she texted me that they were set up. She was having trouble. She hadn't done this before, so she wasn't quite sure what to do, but
I see two people in my online waiting room. named Christina.
I beg your pardon?
I see 2 people in the waiting room named Christina, but that's all that I see. I see named Sydney Watson. I don't see
Yes,
any.
yes, sir. That's her mother. Uh-huh.
Okay, Sydney Watson. Okay, there we go. Let me bring her in. She's joining. I think they're going to join in just a second. There she is. All right, good morning,
There she is.
Hampton. I'm going to ask you to unmute if you'll just click that button. Okay, this is cause number CR 2390, State versus Hannah Marie Hampton. We're set for docket call today. Go ahead, Mr. Wagner.
Yes, Your Honor. We have gone over the videos and most of the evidence, and I need to get we need to meet. We have a problem because we're so far apart. I'm in Tyler and she's over near Dallas. And but we're going to I want to talk to them again about all of our options and the risks and all that. And I was planning on doing that this week until the medical problems came up. But I'm going to meet with them very soon to go over that information and then decide what they want to do.
What's the offer in this case?
It's PTD, Your Honor.
Is there any objection from the state? This will be if we set it again, it'll be the 3rd docket call.
We're at decision time. Discuss the positive and negative retrial.
All right, Mr. Wagner, I'm going to set Ms. Hampton for a final docket call on September 16th at 9 a.m.
Your Honor, I already have another case on that day.
Here in Van Zandt or somewhere else or what?
Yeah, it's in, it'll be in Rain County.
Ring County?
Yes, sir.
RING?
Yeah, up in the city of Emory.
Oh, Rains County. Do you believe
Yes,
Rains County is about 20 minutes from Canton? Do you not believe that you could handle both cases in one day, one morning?
Well, I probably could have. I knew what time was going to be available.
Well, how about we set it
I think
for what time is your case in Rains County?
9 o'clock.
Okay, I'll set you here at 11 o'clock.
Okay, if I have a problem with that time, can I give you a call, give the court a call and let you know that I'll be a little late, or would that be all right?
Yes, sir. Just know that court's going to adjourn for the morning session at noon, and if you don't make it in by that time, you'll have to wait until the afternoon after I call the jail docket. But I feel confident you'll be able to handle your business in Rains in 2 hours.
I'll try.
I mean, you're not in trial or anything, are you?
No, it's pre-trial.
Okay.
So I'll try to make it. I should be okay if they don't hang me up too much there. I don't anticipate that, but I should be all right.
All right, Ms. Hampton, I'm going to order you to appear at 11 a.m. on Thursday, September 16th. This will be the only notice that you receive, and you'll be appearing in person. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're free to go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
May I be excused, Your
Yes,
Honor?
sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And you just hold what you got, Miss Hampton, and I'll remove you out of there. Mr. Murray Leader, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Appreciate your patience this morning. You just have Miss Ross, is that correct? Is she the only one you have today?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay. Now, two Christina's logged in. I'm gonna try both of them. I'm not sure if one is yours or not. We'll see.
Mine is spelled Kristina.
Yeah,
There we go. Miss Christina Ross. I see her on the video.
okay. And so Krista M is not yours.
That's correct.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I took my coat off, but that's actually my client, Tony Curtis.
Okay, all right, I'll recall him then in just a moment.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Okay, here, Mr. Murray Leader. All right, this is cause number CR 21-143, State versus Christina Maria Ross, set for pretrial today. Ms. Ross is appearing via Zoom with court's permission. And let's see, I have that I've already granted the continuance. I believe you filed a motion for continuance, Mr. Murray Leader, is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay, and the court has already granted that, and I believe I have set you on October 14th. And Ms. Ross, I ordered you to appear via Zoom today so that we could ensure that you understand. One, I wanted you to check in. Two, I want to make sure that you're checking in with your pretrial release officer as ordered. Have you been doing that? Okay, you're on mute. Let me just push that button there.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you now.
Okay, so I actually contacted my probation officer yesterday, and he told me I would start making payments and everything starting next month. He told me that he would send me documentation via email to fill out and to read over.
Okay, give me just 1 second here.
No.
Okay, all right, so Ms. Ross, just make sure you are complying with your conditions of pretrial release, and you're ordered back in court in person on October 14th at 9 a.m. You're free to go.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Murray Leader. Mr. Murray Leader, that is correct.
That's right.
Do you have anything this afternoon? You do, I see. Mr. Schroeder.
Yeah, just I'm Dylan Schroeder. We have that this afternoon.
Look at you trying to get off that case. I'm gonna have to go read some case law or something. I don't know. I like having you around, so prepare for the fight.
All right, Judge.
All right, we'll see you this afternoon.
Thank you.
All right, let me bring Mr. So Krista M is Tony Curtis. Okay. He has no audio, so he's not gonna be able to hear us.
I love Zoom.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna move y'all to a breakout room and maybe you can help him with,
Okay.
I don't know if you know sign language or. but let's see.
Oh, it says it's connecting. I'll cross my fingers.
Oh, there we go. All right.
All
Now,
right, Tony, unmute.
all right, try it again. Can you hear us now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. Just in the nick of time. All right, let me move over to your case again. All right, this is cause number CR 2157, State versus Tony Ray Curtis. Mr. Curtis is set for pretrial today. Go ahead, Mr. Weiner.
Your Honor, at this time, we have no contested pretrial motions for the court. We received an offer.
Okay. And the court will then set Mr. Curtis then for docket call on September 16th at 9 a.m. Mr. Curtis, make sure that you are staying in contact with your pretrial release officer. And you're ordered to appear in person on September 16th at 9 a.m. This will be the only notice you receive. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're free to go.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate the extra time to round up my client. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
I'll remove you. I'll remove you. There you go.
Hey, Krista.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Crawford.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning.
All right. Good morning. This is cause number CR 21-134, State versus Shelby Diane Newton. And Ms. Newton is present in the courtroom, and we are set for docket call today. Have we received an offer in this case? And do we have any announcement on whether we're ready to accept, if we need more time, or if we're going to be requesting a trial?
There's supposed to be some videos, Judge. We haven't received those on discovery. They,
Right.
on 8/6, we were advised that they were mailed. But at this date, we haven't received them yet. I've got a note here that the lady who was doing discovery is no longer there. So I don't know if it got mixed up or if we just hadn't received it or what.
Okay, I'm gonna let the state, they're looking into it right now. I'm gonna give Mr. Woodwike a moment to see what his system says.
But with that being said, we're not ready to make a decision yet.
While Mr. Woodwike is looking, can you look at your calendar and tell me what September 16th looks like for you?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna have to go to a different page.
Yes, sir.
One second. I'm on. I'm on. Your Honor, I'm scheduled for 2 jury trials in Nevada County that day. I don't know if they'll go or not.
You want me to get you out of them?
You gonna have a trial there?
Maybe. You want one? I could probably find you one. I
Well-
thought maybe you want to come over here and just make a quick announcement on Ms. Newton and then you go back home.
I like to dance in the courtroom. I don't want to pass up that chance.
Mr.
But I need to
Mr.
get
Woodward, I
that.
guess-
I'm sorry.
What about September 28th?
1 second.
And do you think your trials, are they set in the top 3, top 5, top 10, or?
At this time, I don't know. I would think they're pretty high. The one of them we've tried twice already and hung them both times. So I think they're pretty anxious to get that one. I show on the 28th to be in, I'm set for a trial in Waco. I don't know if it'll go. Do you have anything like in the end of the week? On any of those weeks, like Friday maybe? Or if it's just an announcement or something like that, I could probably have.
Yeah, it'll just be an announcement on
Okay.
Docket.
We'll do the 16th, if that's okay. And if I can't do it or log in to do it or be there, my associate attorney will be there.
Okay, let's do that then. If you don't have the videos, then we'll reset for docket call on September 16th, and that'll be at 9 a.m.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have Ms. Newton sign a notice of setting, and then she's gonna be free to go. So you're free to go as well.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
Hey, you're welcome. You do the same. Mr. Manning, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
You want to go first? French or Perez? Jose Perez, CR 20188. Yes.
Then we are set today, pre-trial leave, we reached an agreement with the state. However, we're not able to prepare the paperwork today. We've tendered a waiver of jury trial, explaining that to my client. He has knowingly voluntarily waived his right to a jury trial in order to secure the recommendation of the state. We request a plea date to have it.
And what's the offer he's going to be accepting?
It's be time served on 12.4A and $1,000.
Is he going to be paying the fine at the time of the plea?
Judge, he is unable to due to his financial situation, but he set on a payment plan.
Time served, 1244A, $1,000 fine.
That's right.
All right, Mr. Perez, if you'll raise your right hand, I'm going to place you under oath. Sir, do you swear that the testimony you give to the court today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, you may put your hand down. Mr. Perez, do you understand that you have the right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
You understand that that right cannot be taken away from you?
Yes, sir.
You understand that at that trial by jury, you have the right to cross-examine and confront the state's witnesses and evidence that they intend to bring against you?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you also have the right to waive that right to a jury trial? And you understand that if you waive that right, it cannot be restored to you under just very limited circumstances. So that means once you waive it, most of the time you cannot get it back.
Yes, sir.
And you're telling me today that you understand that you have that right and that you want to waive it so that you can enter into a plea agreement with the state of Texas to resolve your case. Is that right?
That's correct.
And you've discussed your case and this waiver of jury trial with your attorney, Mr. Manning. Is that right? Mr. Manning, you join with Mr. Perez in requesting the waiver of the jury trial. And do you believe that he is doing so intentionally, knowingly, and voluntarily?
Yes.
Right. Court also finds that the attorney for the state has joined in on the waiver. Court hereby finds that Mr. Perez has intentionally, knowingly, voluntarily waived his right to a jury trial. The court approves the same and signs the waiver approving. Court will set Mr. Perez then to enter his plea before the court. Are you available on September 16th?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Mr. Perez, you're going to appear on September 16th at 9 a.m. to sign the paperwork and enter your plea. Amanda French, CR 2162. Is French set for pretrial today?
Yes, Judge. At this time, I haven't had a chance to go over the video client. I requested an additional pretrial setting on this case. I hope to get her in next week, so we can discuss the issues that she's raised and also have opportunities to prosecute about further negotiations on this.
Is she going to be able to come into your office and do that?
I believe so, Judge.
Ms. French, are you going to be able to meet with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
And you're going to be able to do that next week? This will be the final, this is the second setting for pretrial today, so this will be the final setting for pretrial.
Yes, Judge.
Ms. French, you're to appear in the court on September 16th at 9 a.m. for pretrial. After you sign your notice and get your copy, I want you to report over to pretrial release to sign your conditions of pretrial release or discuss those issues with them. Is Johnny Jude Cooper here? Johnny Jude Cooper Jr. This cause number CR 1613, State versus Tammy Jo Broomfield. Let's see, Ms. Broomfield, looks like we are requesting to extend your community supervision for 6 months until February 22nd of 2022. It's going to include some additional financial costs. Why are we needing to extend? So you can what? And has anyone threatened, forced, or pressured you to feel like you have to extend your community supervision? And you're asking the court to extend you? All right, court's going to approve the amendment to the conditions of community supervision. Come over here and see Officer Matura, and then you'll be free to go. Jeremy Reeves. All right, Mr. Reeves, who's your attorney?
I still need 2 more weeks to apply one, it's an initial white. I just need to get the rest of the funds scheduled. I'll have it 2 more weeks.
Which Mr. White?
Nolan, do you want? The compensation from recently, that should be the rest of the funds together to obtain.
So if I bring you back on August 26th, you'll be ready to go?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That'll be fine.
No, I'm sorry, August 24th. That's what I meant to say.
Yes, sir. 24 will be fine.
All right. I'm gonna order you back on August 24th for arraignment with your attorney, Mr. White, or any other attorney you hire.
Yes, sir. I do have a slight question. Who will I pay for?
After you sign, come over here and meet with Officer Waddell, and he'll give you that information. All right, for the record, CR 21-194, CR 21-195, State versus Craig Allen Turner, set for arraignment, verified custody in Kaufman County. We will reset until for arraignment and status of custody on September 16th. Mr. Knoll, are you ready? And you have 2, one's in custody and one's not here, so should make things easier for you. She's not here. She's not here, is she?
Yes, she is.
Oh, she wasn't here when I called her name earlier.
She is here now. She is hopefully getting together some records that I can go through.
Well, if she's here, is there a reason she's not in here?
She's going through stacks of papers. Some of them have nothing to do with what I need. She's going through those papers.
Are we gonna do a plea or something today, or?
I'm afraid not, just now getting those papers. Probably
Yeah, well, let's get her in here and get her announced and get her going. Yeah, as soon as I get rid of.
Mr. Bird is coming from Mississippi, I believe.
said Mr. Byrd,
Yes, sir.
which is that Mr. Zachary Byrd?
No, it's the voluntary.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's not 11 yet. We got 13 minutes. Okay, there was another Byrd that making sure. All right, Miss Templeton, this is cause number CR 29-1, State versus Amanda Templeton, set for docket call. Go ahead, Mr. Knoll.
Goodness, Templeton has been gathering records so that I can review them, inspect them, review them, see exactly what the bottom line, so to speak, of the other case. Right. 3 inches worth of paperwork, with some of that relevant, some of the business. One last reset. Final setting for plea out.
State.
Made an offer, Mr. Noel made a counter offer. Not agree to for the documentation. For the one, I think she does have the paperwork, but obviously the decision. No objection to.
Ms. Templeton, were you here at 9 a.m. when I called your case? All right, Miss Templeton, I want you to come over here. I'm gonna UA you today. I'm gonna give you a drug test. And then you have a seat right there. And then I'll recall your case. Mr. Woodwike, Mr. Adams, if you'll approach. Now we're talking about something on this afternoon docket.
No, it's not over.
Let me use this. No. Mr. Knoll, we got CR 2156, Robert Crane, show that he's still in custody in Wood County. Do you have any updates for the court?
I don't know that he's been indicted in Wood County.
Do you know what those charges are?
If I remember right, it's indecency with a child. I think there are 2 assault on purpose.
Just to refresh your memory, we did grant our full bond suspicion, so there is current housing with a higher bond on discharge.
If he's not indicted there, do we want to leave him sitting there? Or do we want to do a bench warrant and go get him and bring him here? Because we are indicted on a serious charge and
Let me, if I can, just let me check and see what they're doing. If they have him indicted there, I'm not sure what they'll do with the sex charges there, but I would think it would be solved on certain cases. I'll report back to the DA's office and report on what position those cases are in. If they're not, I get can't.
all right, let's reset that to either the 16th or the 28th of September. Which one would you prefer?
28.
All right, so we'll reset that for arraignment and custody status on the 28th. If he's not indicted, then I'd like to just go ahead and bring him back and we'll start working our case. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah, he said he'd call him and tell him.
please.
All right, this is cause number CR 21156. I'm sorry, 166. State versus Devontae Jamal Byrd. Bird's to enter a plea today, is that correct?
That's right.
All right, Mr. Byrd, if you'll raise your right hand, sir, I'm going to place you under oath. Mr. Byrd, do you swear that the testimony you give to the court today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you put your hand down. Make sure you speak up loudly and clearly so my court reporter over here can take down what you're saying, okay? All right, is your name Devontae Jamal Byrd? And Mr. Byrd, are you a United States citizen? Do you read, write, and speak English? Have you ever been diagnosed with any type of mental condition? In this case, you're represented by your attorney, Mr. Kurt Knoll. Are you pleased with his representation of you? Do you feel like you've had enough time to discuss the case with him, have all your questions answered? Is there anything about the paperwork that you've read and signed today that you do not understand? Mr. Knoll, do you believe your client to be competent today? And you've explained to him his legal rights and both the advantages and disadvantages of deferred adjudication plea? And I'll need someone from the state to sign this paperwork here. And Mr. Noel, I'll need you to, you're definitely gonna want to sign this one. You can sign it over to me if you want, but I'll need that. I'll need a legal signature to get that done. Mr. Byrd, I see here that the plea agreement in your case is that you're going to be pleading guilty to a state jail felony offense of possession of a controlled substance in penalty group 2 less than 1 gram. The state's recommendation on that plea is that a finding of guilt be deferred. That means that you not be convicted of this offense at this time, but that you be placed on 2 years community supervision, that you pay a $2,000 fine, $180 restitution, and the state has agreed that they would dismiss an unlawful carrying of a weapon. You'd also have to pay court costs and reimburse Van Zandt County $585 for your legal fees and other fees. And you would have $180 restitution for the testing of the illegal substance in this case. Is that your understanding of the plea agreement? That's what you want the court to approve? Have you gone over your conditions of probation? Do you understand them? Do you understand that if you violate any one of these, the state can file a motion to bring you back before the court, and the court could revoke your community supervision, court could convict you of this offense, and the court could sentence you anywhere from 6 months to 2 years in prison. Court could also assess a fine up to $10,000. Do you understand that? That's the full range of punishment for a state jail felony. So let me ask you, Mr. Byrd, if you understand the plea agreement and you understand the range of punishment, how do you plead to this offense? Are you pleading guilty because you're guilty of committing that crime? Has anyone threatened, forced, or pressured you to plead guilty today? All right, the court does accept the defendant's plea of guilt. Mr. Nolan, any objection to states 1?
No, Your Honor.
States 1 is admitted into evidence, and the court takes judicial notice of the defendant's judicial confession. Anything further from the state, from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Take a moment, just look over your case, Mr. Byrd. I also see a part of this plea agreement, Mr. Byrd, is that you're agreeing to the forfeiture of the weapon that was seized in this case. Is that correct? All right, then based on the evidence, court finds that there is sufficient evidence to convict Mr. Devontae Byrd of this offense. Court will follow the plea agreement. The court defers the finding of guilt in this case, places Mr. Byrd on 2 years community supervision, orders him to pay a $2,000 fine, $290 court cost, $585 reimbursement fees to Van Zandt County, and $180 restitution. Furthermore, the state, having submitted consideration DA 2021-0325 unlawful carrying of a weapon, the court takes that into consideration under section 1245 of the Texas Penal Code. All right, Mr. Byrd. You hereby remanded to the custody of the Van Zandt County Community Supervision and Corrections Department, so they can carry out the terms and conditions of the sentence. I'm going to have you step forward to be fingerprinted with the deputy here. And after that time, I want you to step over here to the left of these ladies, and they'll give you more information about your probation. All right, Ms. Templeton. Come on around right here to this area right next to this podium. Right, just right there, right there. Mr. Knoll's gonna go there. All right, we are back on the record, CR 29-1, State versus Amanda Templeton. I've received the announcement for docket call and the request for a resetting. Court has had the pretrial release department conducted your analysis of Ms. Templeton. It's my understanding that Ms. Templeton has tested positive for methamphetamines today, has denied use of methamphetamines, but has admitted to use of methamphetamines in July of 2021 while she was on conditions of pretrial release. Is there still a request to reset docket call today, Mr. Knoll?
Good, I think we still need that.
Go ahead. Go ahead. What's?
So I think we do still need to reset. Maybe not. Because I guess as soon as we get into probation, possible probation officer.
Is there what is the existing offer for Ms. Templeton? Has it changed today?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, the state's previous offer was for 4 months state jail. We were open to considering probation with proper documentation, however, based on today's polls, we are purposely denying that counter offer. Our 12 month state jail offer will remain.
All right. Mr. Knoll, I'm going to reset Ms. Templeton for September 28th for docket call. If you want to reach a resolution sooner than that, you'll contact the court. I could do September 16th if you want that date. I'm not sure what your calendar looks like.
There's all, probably need to be this Templeton again, and then if we can do something on the 16th,
All right, Ms. Templeton, the court's going to find you in violation of conditions of pretrial release. The court's going to find your bail in this case to be insufficient. Court orders you into custody at this time. I've set new bail at $40,000.
I've been on Robert Crane, one that we did confirm that he has been indicted in the county. Court still want to set him.
We'll set him out. Let's set him out a little bit further. Let's set him for, Ms. Templeton, I need you to get control of your emotions so I can conduct the court, please. Let's reset Mr. Crane till, let's do a status on October 14th. Status on October 14th. Yes, we'll do 9 o'clock since he's not in our jail. October 14th. Is that all you have this morning? Thank you, sir. Mr. Schmidt, you ready on Mr. Mata? Just. Go ahead, as you were saying. Yeah, that's fine.
Is it okay if he keeps me at jail?
I want to avoid sending too many people into the jail. I'm not sure how many we got on the jail docket this afternoon.
I can go back. It's not an issue.
No, I'll tell you what, just go to the jail. We'll make an exception, go to the jail because probation is going to be at the jail anyway. So Mr. Mata, you're going to report. I mean, it's almost noon now. So at 1:30, just report out to the Van Zandt County Justice Center. If you don't know where that's at, it's next to Mr. Schmidt's office out on Buffalo 64 going towards Wolves Point. All right. You need to report out there at 1:30. All right. You're free to go at this time. Okay. Mr. Schmidt, what time do you think you'll be there?
I'm gonna stay on at 1:30.
So, I mean, it's gonna be at least 2 something before you get back, right? About 2:30. All right, tell Mata 2:30. Tell him 2:30 and then tell him just to sit in his car. That way he's not sitting in the lobby, and then at 2:30, then to enter the lobby. So I've told Mr. Mata 2:30. Mata. Yeah, they don't have the paperwork. There's an issue with that. So he's going to try to enter it at 2:30.
This, the original offer was 1 for 2. Told Mr. Schmidt on Tuesday he could have 2 deferred. And then I told Ms. Avenue 1 for 2. So the paperwork says 1 for 2. So it's both of us didn't catch that I opted deferred. So we told Ms. Avenue.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to have the following names called for bond forfeiture. Leonard Williams, that's under advisement until 3 p.m. today. Zachary Bird. Jeffrey Furr. And I believe that's all. I'm gonna have all their names. All their names were called in the courtroom. They were not present. I'm gonna have their names called loudly and distinctly 3 times at the courthouse. And then the court will be forfeiting the surety bonds. All right, we're gonna stand in recess until 1:30.